anxiety is not real. Pause for a second and look around you, right now, in this exact moment. Is there anything truly dangerous happening? Is your life under threat? Most likely, no. And yet, your mind refuses to stop. It keeps running, jumping from one thought to another, creating scenarios, predicting outcomes, most of them negative. And that's where the real problem begins. You are not reacting to reality. You are reacting to what your mind is imagining. In the book, The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle explains something most people never realize. Anxiety is not caused by your life. It is caused by your relationship with your thoughts, which means the situation is not the problem. The way you process it is, there is a voice inside your head, always talking, always judging, always trying to predict what might go wrong. And over time, you start believing that voice, not questioning it, not observing it, just following it. That's why anxiety feels so real, because your mind presents it as reality, not as a possibility. But here is the truth that changes everything. Anxiety cannot exist in the present moment. It only exists when your mind leaves it. Think about that carefully. Right now, at this exact second, is something actually wrong? Or is your mind somewhere else? Thinking about tomorrow, imagining failure, replaying past mistakes, or creating problems that don't exist yet. That's what creates the feeling, not reality itself. And this is where most people get trapped. They confuse thoughts with facts. They treat imagination as if it already happened. They live inside mental projections, instead of living in what is real. Your mind is constantly trying to move. It escapes to the past, or runs toward the future. Because staying present feels unfamiliar. But the present moment is the only place where you are truly safe. There is no fear here, no pressure, no imagined disaster, only what is happening right now. And most of the time, that reality is much calmer than what your mind tells you. This leads to a powerful realization. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who is aware of them. That means you have a choice. You can either follow every thought or step back and observe it. And that changes everything. Because once you start observing, you create distance. And that distance gives you control. Instead of being pulled into fear, you begin to see it. Instead of reacting automatically, you start choosing your response. Here's how it works in real life. A thought appears. What if I fail? Normally, you would follow it. You would build more thoughts around it, more fear, more pressure. But this time, you stop, you notice it, and you say, this is just a thought. Nothing more, not reality, not a prediction, just a mental event. And something shifts. The intensity drops. The urgency fades. Because you didn't feed it. You didn't turn it into a story. You simply saw it and let it pass. This is the beginning of control. Not controlling your thoughts, but controlling your reaction to them. And there's an even deeper step. Ask yourself this question. Is there a problem right now? Not later, not in your imagination. Right now, look carefully. Most of the time, you will realize something surprising. There is no immediate problem, only mental noise, only anticipation, only what if. And that question brings you back to reality, back to the present, back to clarity. Because clarity does not exist in overthinking. It exists in awareness. And this is something most people never practice. They try to fix their thoughts instead of understanding them. They try to eliminate anxiety instead of seeing where it comes from. But once you see it clearly, you stop being controlled by it. You stop reacting blindly. You stop believing everything your mind says. And that creates space. Space for calm, space for logic, space for presence. And here's something important to understand. Peace is not the absence of problems. Peace is the ability to face them without turning them into suffering in your mind. Because most suffering is not caused by reality. It's caused by resistance to it, by overthinking it, by replaying it, by imagining it worse than it is. Your mind is trying to protect you, but it does it by exaggerating risk, by focusing on what could go wrong, and by keeping you alert all the time. But constant alertness is what creates exhaustion. And that exhaustion feels like anxiety. So the solution is not to fight your mind. It's to understand it, to step back from it, to stop identifying with every thought it produces. Start small. The next time you feel anxious, don't try to escape it. Don't distract yourself immediately. Pause, take a breath, and bring your attention to what is real. Your surroundings, your body, your breathing. Then ask, what is actually happening right now? Not what might happen, not what you fear. What is happening? This shifts your focus instantly, from imagination to reality. And over time, this becomes natural. You stop reacting impulsively. You stop spiraling. You become aware, faster. And with awareness comes control. Not perfect control, but enough to change your experience. And that's what matters, because the goal is not to eliminate thinking. The goal is to stop being controlled by it, to use your mind without being used by it. And when that happens, something changes inside you. You become calmer, not because life is easier, but because your mind is quieter, more stable, more present. And that changes everything, because your experience of life is shaped by your state of mind, not just by your circumstances. So if you can change your inner state, you change your entire reality. And that begins with one simple step: awareness, seeing clearly, not reacting blindly, and choosing presence over projection. Before you move on, ask yourself this: how much of your anxiety today was based on something real? And how much of it came from thoughts about things that never happened? Be honest, because that answer might change how you see everything. If you made it this far, you are already becoming more aware. And if this gave you a new perspective, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, because the next idea might completely change the way you think.